Okay guys, this is a replica of the Medabah map in Jordan. I got to see the original one there in Jordan. It's roughly about 1,500 years old. And right over here, that section right there would be Jerusalem. That would be the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the Cardo in the old city here. And right up over here would be the Eastern Gate. Over here would be the tomb of Zechariah. That right up over there would be, come on, I'm trying to focus here, the Dead Sea, and then the Jordan River flowing out of the Dead Sea. Right over here would be Jericho. That would be Jericho. And so it's pretty much showing you a map of the Holy Land here. I just wanted to point that out to you guys.
What's going on with this?
Over here would be the original floor tiles that would have been here in the temple area. And they found some of these floor tiles. And over here is a Greek inscription warning Gentiles not to enter into the complex. It was one of the several stone tablets inscribed in Greek and Roman. The tablets were set in a balustrade separating the area permitted to pagans from an inner sacred area that only Jews were permitted to enter in the 1st century AD. So pretty much what's said, if you go into forbidden areas, you would be responsible for your own death. So here we are in the Citadel of David, here in the old city of Jerusalem. It's a beautiful illuminated replica, model of Herod's temple in the 1st century AD, 2,000 years ago. Over here would be the court of the women, and over there would be the court of Israel. Off over here would be the royal store where the Sanhedrin would have been housed, consisting of the Sadducees and the Pharisees. This open area here and this open area here will be the court of the Gentiles. Gentiles were allowed in this open court, but any Gentile caught going into this area here would be responsible for their own deaths. Coming on to this side over here would be the Antonia Fortress. In the book of Acts, it was known as the castle. When Paul was arrested, falsely accused of bringing Gentiles into the temple complex, Paul was taken by the Roman soldiers to this fortress here, the Antonia Fortress. There are some slight remains of the Antonia Fortress left. Over here would be the Eastern Gate, and you'll notice that there was a bridge that led to the Eastern Gate to what would be over here the Mount of Olives. Just pretending this is the Mount of Olives right here. And they would lead the red heifer or the sacrifice through that Eastern Gate over that bridge and sacrifice there on the Mount of Olives. Going on this side, over here, would be the southern steps of the temple Mount. And over here would be the triple gate and the double gate. This triple gate known as the Hulda Gate, and this would be the double gate. So during the high holidays, all the people would come in this entrance right here through the triple gate, and then on exiting, they would go out through the double gate. You can still see part of the remains of the double gate today when you're on the southern steps of the Temple Mount. Getting back over here, this would be the area of what we would call the Western Wall today, where it was a retaining wall during the Second Temple period. And so, giving you a panoramic view of it over here. This is absolutely beautiful. And again, this section right here, let's say from where this is right here, and this is right here, would be the Kotel, the Western Wall. Todd Baker and I was just praying at the Western Wall just a little while ago. And you can go to Todd's Facebook page, and he will have that up for all of you to see. Now looking at this over here would be the 7-branch menorah mentioned in Exodus 25, and you'll see right here, well, that's a shofar. That is a shofar or a ram's horn. And once again, we are looking at the southern side of the Temple Mount. Then we are looking at the eastern side of the Temple Mount. We are looking at the northern side of the Temple Mount. Over here, and over here we're looking on the western side of the Temple Mount. And of course, let me see if I might be able to zoom in a little bit there. You can see, looking at this side right here, the temple consisted of the holy place and the most holy place. And of course, during the Second Temple period, in the time of Jesus, and so we can get a little bit close over here, there was no Ark of the Covenant. There was a stone that was placed in the most holy place to remind the Jews that that's where the Ark of the Covenant would have been. After the destruction of the first temple in 586 BC by the Babylonians, the Ark of the Covenant mysteriously disappeared. And over here we see a cuneiform, and it says, whose shrines had early become dilapidated, the gods who lived therein, and made permanent sanctuaries for them. I collected together all their people and returned them to settlement. So this right here is I would say this is probably a replica, if I'm not mistaken, of the Cyrus cylinder that I believe is on display at the British Museum. And so what Cyrus is saying here is that he was responsible for allowing the Jewish people to go back to Jerusalem to build the Second Temple. And of course, Cyrus was prophesied 150 years before he was even born, that God said he would deliver the Jewish people in Isaiah 44:28 and Isaiah 45:1. And over here, this would be what is called an ossuary. That is a stone casket. You know, the custom of Jewish burial is that once they would anoint the body, wrap it in linen, they would put it in a tomb for 1 year. After 1 year, the bones would be collected and placed in that ossuary. That's a beautiful, well-preserved ossuary right there. If you go to the Mount of Olives and the Dominus Flevit Church, you'll see many, many remains of ossuaries there. One famous ossuary was known as the Caiaphas ossuary. Many believe that that was associated with the high priest Caiaphas, who presided over Jesus' trial 2,000 years ago. And of course, over here would be the Arch of Titus in Rome. Dr. Baker and I did a video from the Arch of Titus in Rome a few years back. I believe it was in 2015. And there you can see Roman soldiers carrying the temple treasures back to Rome. Over here, you can see the silver trumpets being carried back and the 7-branch menorah taken from the temple and brought to Rome. And it was said that the Roman Colosseum was built with the funds taken from the temple treasures in Jerusalem. So now it's going to show you what that arch would have looked like 2,000 years ago. By the way, that was constructed by Titus's brother Domitian at around 81 AD to commemorate his brother's activities in Jerusalem. So they're showing you what it looks like, what it would have originally looked like. So that's pretty neat. So the great revolt against Rome by the Jews between 66 and 70 AD resulted in that right there, the destruction of the city of Jerusalem. And of course here, you're gonna see coins, Jewish revolt coins, that would say for the redemption of Jerusalem. So the reason why the Jews fought against the mighty Roman Empire was because of the city of Jerusalem, for the redemption of Jerusalem the Holy. And there we are, right here in the Museum of David's Citadel in the old city of Jerusalem. Hopefully you're watching our videos here from the Holy Land, and hopefully that we can be a blessing to you. Okay guys, this is a replica of the Medabah map in Jordan. I got to see the original one there in Jordan. It's roughly about 1,500 years old. And right over here, that section right there would be Jerusalem. That would be the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the Cardo in the old city here, and right up over here would be the Eastern Gate. Over here would be the tomb of Zechariah. That right up over there would be, come on, I'm trying to focus here, the Dead Sea, and then the Jordan River flowing out of the Dead Sea. Right over here would be Jericho. That would be Jericho. And so it's pretty much showing you a map of the Holy Land here. I just wanted to point that out to you guys.